Why does Gaza seem to dominate so much of our public discourse? There are nearly 200 countries in the world. There's ongoing conflicts right now in Sudan, Ukraine, Nigeria, and the Congo. There are humanitarian crises, ethnic conflicts, political repression, and mass displacement affecting millions of people all over the globe. Yet a tiny strip of land on the Mediterranean somehow becomes the focal point for conversations about morality, justice, colonialism, racism, power, oppression, and even Western civilization itself. Journalist Matti Friedman has a name for this phenomenon. It's called Gazology. In HR Canada Charitable Organization's most recent webinar, Matti Friedman joined Tristan Hopper from the National Post to talk about this very phenomenon. He explained that Gazology is the idea that Gaza has ceased just to be a place. It's become a symbolic framework through which people interpret the world. In this framework, Israel and Gaza are no longer treated as a complicated conflict between real people with a long, difficult, and nuanced history. Instead, they become characters in a larger moral story, a story about oppressors and oppressed, good and evil, power and victimhood. And once that happens, something terrifying occurs. People stop looking at Israel as a real country and start treating it as a symbol, a stand-in for whatever they believe is wrong with the modern world. Consequently, Jews become symbolic too. They cease to be understood as actual people with diverse histories, identities, beliefs, and experiences, and instead they become stand-ins for the same moral narrative cast as representatives of whatever ideology a particular worldview has decided is the source of society's problems. In different eras, Jews have been portrayed as the face of capitalism, communism, nationalism, cosmopolitanism, racial impurity, racial privilege, colonialism, and globalism. The specific accusation changes, but the mechanism is remarkably consistent. Jews become symbols rather than people. And when journalism, activism, and public discourse become more concerned with maintaining a tidy moral narrative than understanding reality, the consequences extend far beyond oversimplification. If Israel has been cast as the embodiment of oppression, colonialism, or evil itself, then opposing Israel no longer feels like a political position. It becomes a moral obligation. And if Jews are understood as representatives of that same symbolic framework, hostility towards Jews can begin to feel similarly justified. This is the danger of turning people into symbols and why Gazology matters. Whether in books, classrooms, media, medicine, or any professional setting, Gazology often reduces the conflict to a simplistic story of oppressors and oppressed, casting Israel as the villain and ignoring the history, context, and threats it faces. In the process, nuance is lost and facts are often overshadowed by ideology. Recognizing Gazology allows Canadians to see beyond these narratives and engage with the conflict based on reality rather than symbolism. And it means learning to identify these narratives wherever they appear, asking whether a story is helping us understand reality or simply reinforcing an ideological worldview. To learn more about this phenomenon, I encourage you to go check out the latest webinar from HR Canada Charitable Organization at www.honestreporting.ca/Gazology.
Flaga powinna wyglądać dokładnie tak.